Hey guys, welcome back to the #anxiety podcast. I am Cassie Gaub here with the amazing LolaB.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. This will be episode 3, so you've already heard from us a little bit this year, but we wanted to take some time to give you a little update and share what happened on our holiday break. We took a little break between our season 1 and season 2, and I am going to kick it over to LolaB to give us an update about what's going on with everything.
Because you want me to say it out loud that my dad did not die. This is the best news. If you all have been following us on the podcast, you know that I was a damn disaster worrying about that. And, you know, if this is your first podcast with us, first of all, I apologize because you have a lot of catching up to do, but I'll give you the short version, which is my mom died in April, and we have sort of a family history of people dying over the holidays. And you know, my dad is 92, so you know, I can't expect him to live forever, although that continues to be my desire. But I don't think I'm going to get it, you know, at some point that's going to happen. I hope it's 50 years from now. So, but in the meantime, my anxiety was through the roof, starting, you know, just before Thanksgiving. My mom had fallen at Thanksgiving time, and so I had triggers around that, and I was worried about my dad. And if you listen to what was the episode? I think it's Seasons of Anxiety. I sobbed through the whole thing, right? I was a damn disaster, as I've said, but it was a lovely holiday season in terms of a lot of things. It was really great. My dad is well and as healthy as you can be at 92 for the most part. And he got to come on Christmas Day and have dinner here with me and my girls and my sister and brother-in-law and my nephew, and he got to see my new house, which was wonderful. And of course, did that relieve my anxiety? Absolutely not, because then in my head I'm like, he saw my house, that's probably the last thing he wanted to do before he died. You know, I was just a freaking drama queen. It was not to anybody else, just in my own head. But you know, and then that settled down, and I just was so grateful and appreciative that he was here and that it worked out okay. And I am not anxious anymore, Cassie, about him dying. Now, maybe tomorrow that'll change, but since Christmas, I really haven't been. I don't have that gnawing feeling in my stomach, I guess, because when it happens now, I'll feel like it's a surprise as opposed to expected over the holidays. And, you know, I'm just enjoying the time that he has here, and I just don't feel as stressed or anxious about it. So I was able to enjoy the holidays. Eventually, I had to kind of put forth some effort to just not freak out, but it was lovely and great.
I love that you say that. I think we've talked about this so many times on our podcast, that anxiety is so weird, and that even if it's something you're looking forward to doing, you can also at the same time dread it, because that's what anxiety does. And then even during the thing, if you're having a great time enjoying yourself, you can still have anxiety. And then you have the anxiety hangover that I like to say,
right.
Like afterwards, where you have to like detox, and then you're like,
right.
oh,
and you're exhausted.
Now the anxiety's gone. Yeah. I'm glad you had a lovely time.
Thank you.
I had what I feel like was a very pandemic worthy holiday. I ended up having COVID over the holidays. And
I'm so sad about that. Sad about that.
It's the way of the world right now. And despite being safe and being out in public as little as possible, I unfortunately still got COVID. Thankfully, I didn't have too many bad symptoms, and I got the entire bedroom to myself and had a kind of like a one-person retreat to myself. I watched Seinfeld, which is hilarious. You know, probably inappropriate in today's world. Like we would not get away with a lot of that stuff, but I watched a lot of Seinfeld. I mostly slept through a lot of Seinfeld. So it was good. And the crazy thing is, last year, I remember it being really cold here around the holidays. It was 70 some degrees. So despite kind of quarantining in my house to make sure I wasn't exposing anybody else, you know, during the day they were kind of out, and I got to go outside and walk the dogs, and it was so beautiful. And we're still surprisingly, knock on wood, not that cold in Atlanta. So I'm hanging on to it. Hopefully the spring isn't terrible, but this is my anxiety. I'm already worried about the weather which
Well,
I
yeah.
have no control over months from now.
That's all right. I'm grateful that you're feeling better. That's really good news. And COVID is a whole nother thing to be anxious about. And I don't even know what to say. Like, it's exhausting. It's exhausting worrying about it. It's exhausting being anxious about it. It's exhausting, not just for those of us who have anxiety, for everybody. We're just tired. And, round 72 or whatever we're on, it just keeps coming up over and over and over again. And it's different. And now it's highly contagious, and even more so, I should say, and continues to divide our country and our world, I guess, in many ways. And that's discouraging. So, because, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I want everybody to just get along. And, do we really have to fight about that, about being sick? Let's not. Let's just be sweet and kind to each other and give each other chicken noodle soup. To me, that's the answer.
Yes.
Do you want to see what I got from my sister for Christmas?
Yes.
I'm going to show you.
I was hoping it was a fidget ring.
Yes, it's cool. And she got me 11 of them. 11. My fabulous younger sister, whom I adore, totally gets me in 1,000 different ways. And I might cry. I'm a damn disaster. I said I was. It was wonderful. When I opened it on Christmas Day, it was just this lovely little gift box full of anxiety rings, fidget rings. And I did. I burst into tears when I opened it up, because it's just a sweet, tender, thoughtful gift. She totally understands my world. And so it was just so thoughtful and kind. So I have 11 of them. I'm not sure why I have 11 and why she chose 11. If maybe that was, she just wanted to get all that they had to offer, and maybe their offering was 11, or if she felt like I needed one for every finger and maybe a toe. I'm not sure. I didn't ask that question. It's fine, because I love it. They are so cool, and they're beautiful. So I feel like I can wear them to work and nobody knows the difference if I don't want them to, but I can talk about them if I want to. They're the coolest.
This is how dumb anxiety is, because when you said 11, my instant thought was like, you don't even have 11 fingers. What's going to happen to that?
What the hell are you going to do with that 11th one? It will feel lonely.
It will feel lonely. It was like an instant transport right back to childhood, where you had to have all of the teddy bears on the bed. I realize this is playing out as an adult, where I'm like, well, we have to feed all of the stray cats if we're feeding this one, which we can't feed all the stray cats. I've narrowed it down to 2 that I'm allowed to feed.
That's pretty good. Well, this is why we have yin and yang in our relationships, right? Somebody has to put on the brakes, and sometimes it's you and sometimes it's them.
So do you love the ring? Do you find yourself fidgeting with it?
Yeah.
Because we talked about this at one point in like a wish list.
We did. It was on my wish list. And again, my sister is wonderful and loves me and pays attention, and without me even knowing. So let me back up. So we make Christmas lists in my little family. So I ask my girls, and my younger sister, who I'm talking about, is the godmother to my daughters. We are joined at the hip. She is part of our little family. So I also ask for a Christmas list from her. So we exchange Christmas lists. The parameters are, there are no parameters. You can put anything on the list you want. So, things that are wildly expensive or inexpensive, all the things in between, doesn't matter. So, I had a pretty good list going this year, because, I have a new house. So I need like dish towels. My expectations are really low, and my list was mostly that kind of stuff. So the rings were not even on my list. In fact, I'm sure they weren't. So, my sister listens to the podcast, and we also talk like every day. And so she gets it. And I love this particular one. I mean, again, I have 11 to choose from, but I love this particular one because for several reasons. So first of all, it's very smooth on the inside. It's like exceptionally so. They're all nice, but this one's exceptionally smooth on the inside to put it on, and then the middle part spins very easily. I can spin it with my thumb and look like I'm not doing anything. It's fabulous. It's really cool.
That's brilliant. Whoever came up with that, brilliant. And I'm so happy that you got one.
Thank you. I gotta love it. That's right. I'll share the love. I feel like I should, it's sort of like pay it forward. So I have 11. I can pay a couple forward. My anxiety says, wait, hold on to all of them. You might break 10 of them. I just gotta breathe through that because I'm not gonna break 10 of them. So I'll pick my favorites, and then I think I'll pay them forward to folks who might use them. So that'd be, and my sister would think that was cool. So I'll definitely do that.
I love it. So anything else? Any other updates? I think we touched a little bit on a few things that we have to talk about in the future with this crazy anxiety ride.
Right. Well, I can tell you this. I listened to our very own podcast. That's right. I do that. I listen every Tuesday to the podcast that I recorded, that I know what's going to happen. I still listen to it every Tuesday. So today I was slammed on my way to work, so I didn't get a chance to do it on my way back. So I did it on my way home. And it's part 1, season 2 of Dr. Heather Finley. Oh my gosh, Cassie. And I just sat there astounded again at how flippin' smart she is. She's so smart and wise and funny and just so knowledgeable about the gut and the brain and how they interact and how that interacts with anxiety. And I'm so excited for part 2. And again, I was there for the recording of part 2. I know it's coming, but I don't remember exactly. And I just was in awe of her again today. So that was pretty cool. And one of the things I know we're going to talk about in the future is sleep. And she kept bringing up sleep in part 1 about how sleep is tied to the gut and anxiety, how all of those things are tied together. And I'm like, girl, you get me. That is exactly right. So that's what I was thinking about today that we've got coming up. And I'm excited about talking about your sleep hygiene because you set the bar, sister.
I try. It's a work in progress. I also re-listen to the podcast. I think I hear things I don't hear when we're recording it because I'm not nervous when I'm listening to it.
True.
When we're recording, I'm relaxed, but I also have that anxiety chitter chatter always in the back of my head. Like, am I saying too much? Do I look stupid? Is there a booger hanging out of my nose? So people on YouTube are going to see that. Or am I using the wrong word? This is like an anxiety from a long time ago. I don't know that it ever happened to me, but we talked a lot about reading in class out loud and the anxiety and doing all these things. So I'm always so afraid I'm going to say the wrong word, but like say it so confidently because I think it's the right word. And everyone listening is going to be like, this idiot.
What the hell is that?
She doesn't even know what the hell that word means, but I'm going to feel like I do. And so when I'm recording, I'm always with that mind chatter of like, is that the word? Was that the right word? Did
just you sell it, Cassie? Just sell the word. Just sell it when you say it. We'll believe you.
I have a pet peeve with the word. Now I don't even know how to say it. Mauve, the color.
Yeah.
Because I have heard on video mauve and mauve.
And mauve. I've heard mauve. Because I don't know.
I know. I should ask Alexa, but when am I ever going to need to say that in a podcast other than just now for this example? Like, why do I worry about what is the correct way to say this word? And clearly nobody knows, right?
Right. I think it's a country and a world dividing word, quite honest.
Yeah, I agree. So I also love to listen. Are we psychopaths? We like record the podcast.
Yeah, or narcissistic.
Listen to ourselves.
Yeah, or narcissistic. I'm all right with that. I just like listening to, I love our guests. I like hearing your perspective. It's so interesting to me that we are similar yet different and how anxiety shows up in our lives in different ways. So I think it's cool. Here's what I noticed though, is the octave of my voice, it completely is related to the stress level of that particular podcast. So, the higher, and I think I said this in one of our early podcasts, like the higher my voice goes, the more anxious I am. After the one today ended, automatically the very first podcast that we did loaded and started to play. And I'm like, who is that screaming woman with her voice in high C? I don't even know who that is. Yeah, it's me. That's who that was. So now again, I'm consciously trying to slow my breathing, drop my voice to where it normally is. And then I sound like a sociopath. So pick your poison, high screech or sociopath. That's really what my options are.
Oh boy, if those aren't some great options, I don't know. Jackpot.
Right? Exactly. Ooh, no wonder I'm dating a lot, right?
That's another thing about anxiety. The more you talk about it, the more you embrace it, the more you figure it out for yourself, the easier it is to kind of roll with it. Like, I know I'm going to have the mind chatter. Your voice is going to raise an octave. Like, it just is what it is. It's so interesting. I know that you've said that, and I'm sure like on some level I'm aware of that, and yet I don't even notice it.
Well, that's really kind of you, and I will send you money for saying that, because
Hashtag not sponsored, but send us money if you'd like.
Right. It doesn't really help us though if I'm sending money to you and you're sending money to me. That really doesn't help. But I appreciate you rolling with it, and I'm trying to, be a little more consistent and not yell. I also feel like I yell sometimes. My voice gets loud in the podcast, but it's all right. It's who I am. I am passionate. I'm a passionate person. I can't help it.
I think that is it for our update. We appreciate all of you. We would love to hear how the holiday break was for you all, how the new year is going so far.
Yeah. And if you have an anxiety of the week, be sure to post it on social media and tag us. They do a hashtag of some sort with the anxiety.
Hashtag anxiety of the week, and tag us at hashtaganxietypodcast. And if you know how to say that color,
let us know.
And
if your anxiety of the week happened over the holidays, even better. We need some good stories, and then we'll when we get some responses, we can review them in upcoming episodes.
Yes, so we can all share in this anxiety community.
Right. It's just a community of love. That's what.
Yeah, I was like, what am I thinking? Our community of
love, anxious
messes who are together at the same
time. There's safety in numbers, just like dealing with my mom. That's what we used to say. I think I said that before. My siblings and I, that's what we'd say. There's safety in numbers, because I love her, but she had some crazy. And look here it is. It's right here in front of you. I inherited it. So I can say that about my mom because my daughters say it about me. So it's only fair.
I said in the podcast with Dr. Finley that people who can talk about poop are my kind of people. Also people who can embrace the crazy, because we literally all have some level of crazy.
That is correct. That's correct. It's just a matter of acknowledging it and then, making fun of it, really. I making fun of yourself and trying to get through this. And sometimes it's not funny, but 99% of the time I can make it funny. It might not be in the moment, but 10 minutes later, it's going to be damn funny. And I'll try and remember and tell you all stories. All right, friend. It's nice to see you. Happy New Year. Be well.
Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.